Welcome to a new additional video for the use of Broadsword Targe. Today I wanted to show you something that I wanted to build for a long time, but I had no clue how to do it in an easy and still safe way. And that is the infamous spike in the center of the targe. You find these quite often on replicas you find online from different shops. There's a little bit of discussion about how common they were. My personal opinion from the research so far is they existed, but they were rarer than assumed. Okay, there is not like in a Victorian or complete Victorian fantasy in my opinion, but I think that in the Victorian period, through paintings from McIan example, and also later additions to older targes, that in the Victorian period they were quite exaggerating the use of this spike. Some pointy thing sticking out of your targe, and you can prevent an opponent from rushing in. And I don't know how they did it back then, but if they do it like I did it and how many modern makers do it, then the spike is attachable with a screwed tang, so it's a screwing system. Speaking, I think you don't need that of a long spike. We already tried it out in training, and when it comes to end close and commanding, even this little bit can get a nasty pain in the ass for your opponent. I think it's more important about it, and then it is enough if a little bit of a spike or a little bit of a pointy center is sticking out, is that it can prevent the opponent's blade from sliding down. No, really a blade catcher or a blade breaker, but something that when you receive the cut on your targe, you have a short moment of a bind and you might be able to control the blade of your opponent much better. Also against other weapons like spears, pikes, musket and bayonets, if you catch this here on the flat of your targe, so with the edge facing forward like 45 degrees, and you get it here, you can slide it up and have a little bit more control that you cannot slide underneath your targe and you get a thrust into your belly or something. So we will show this with some technical examples. Again, these are a mix of historical evidence, some personal guesses, and the result of experiments with this thing. It was important to have at least one or two targes with a spike attached here. I will also show you a quick how to make one in the way I did it. Disclaimer, I cannot guarantee that this will hold forever, but it's similar like a basket hilt. A basket hilt is also not guaranteed to hold forever. We see it in historical examples who are bent and broken and have dents inside. Of course, there are basket hilts which are really more robust than other types. However, I cannot guarantee that this, so far with synthetics, it survived sparring. But I cannot guarantee that in heat of sparring, someone might cut this out of your targe. So whatever you do, absolutely take care if you want to experiment with this. I take no responsibility. It is just what we did with our homemade targe. I showed you how to make that video a while ago. We'll put a link down in the video description. If you didn't see that, you can see how you make the basic targe we use in training. And they are holding quite well with metal weapons. So of course we did not use them in Battle of Nations combat, but in regular HEMA sparring with synthetic swords, with foam swords, and also with steel training swords, these targes we made ourselves hold already for a long time. We have no breaks, we have no splinters, we have no cracks. It is totally fine. The only thing we had was a handle breaking off at some point, but it was just a construction issue with a handle made out of wood. So that got a crack and then it broke. But other than that, these are really holding quite well. the idea here is when you have someone with a stabbing weapon, okay, like musket and bayonet or pike or spear or something like that. And the idea is that when the thrust is coming and you're going up here, that you catch it for a moment so you cannot go down again. And also you have a little bit of control and then you can go forward yourself. So this is one idea. The same, if we just imagine, this would be a sword cut. When I receive it on my targe for a moment, he cannot slide down so easy. Of course, with bad timing and everything, I can miss and he could still slide down. But if I just roll up my targe, I have a little bit of control here, and then I can go in and cut and do whatever I want to do. So just a few examples how you could deploy this little gimmick on your targe. So like this here, a thrust or cut comes, you cover, you have it here, a little bit under control, it doesn't slide down, and you can go in for your own finishing move. One more time. So I'm here, I raise my targe as we do it with rolling motion, so not going forward and catching it, but with rolling motion, having it here for a moment, resting on the spike, and then I have control. Now the thing is, I can go this direction. If I am good with timing and depending on the pressure, when I go really low, I could even use this to transport it over here and coming on this side. So we all know this, so this might be something not really working in sparring. I never tried it out so far. I would not guarantee anything, but I think it's kind of a cool move. And maybe there is the chance where a moment is where you can use this to deploy a weapon like this and having to bind it here. And it is just also to show you how this can be used to control, okay? I would not be too over enthusiastic about it, okay? It's not like a super parry dagger which you can use to really control and bind and whatnot. It's just for a brief moment you have some more control, and in some cases you might realize that, oh, down here, wow, he's not going down. Now I can even lift him up and go for this, okay? Or in extreme case, I'm coming over here for whatever reason, because maybe he has a block ARX or something, and has a little bit more pressure, and then I can come here and go here, okay? But most of the time, things like this will happen. So you come here, you just have control, you cut forward, okay? You control like here, bring him down, maybe close quarters and punch. Or the most easiest way, you control it here, and you're here ready to thrust from below with a box thrust. So just some gimmicks. We'll also show you some partner drills later this week, so you can see for yourself if this works with a training partner, and also we will use that in sparring. So, but for now, just as a brief start, in theory, this could be something that you want to use as an addition to your target.